Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the maths class. So student, you all know that we have started chapter 4 multiplication, right? And we have also started self-practice 4a, right? So in previous class I have already mentioned that in our today's class we are going to discuss about the properties of multiplication, right? So here we have the properties of multiplication. Student, without knowing this you will not be able to solve the sums given in the book. Alright, so you have to understand this property step by step, one by one, go through it. Okay, if you are not understanding any lecture, just pause it. If you are not able to hear or listen or not catch my voice properly, then you can stop it, pause the video and just rewind the video and kindly listen the lecture properly. Okay, so we have in total 5 properties involved in the multiplication. Alright, 5 properties are involved. Number 1, multiplication by 0, you all know. Alright, multiplication by 1, order or commutative property of multiplication. This may be new term for you people, so remember, order or commutative property of multiplication, grouping or associative property of multiplication, and number 5, distributive property of multiplication. So in total 5 property of multiplication are there, in which 1 and 2 are very much familiar with you people, right? Also you people with each and every definition as well as with the example also I'm going to show you people. Okay, so let us have a look with multiplication by 0. So just see the product, just listen also, the product of any number multiplied by 0 will be 0. Any number when you multiply with 0, you can see the example given there. Yes, that when any number is multiplied with this 0, the product means what answer you are going to get. Okay, so after multiplication, what product you are going to get is 0 when you are multiplying with 0. So the product of any number multiplied with 0 is 0. Simple, isn't it? So this is the first property which you have to remember. You have done this since when you were in 1, 2, right, 3. So this is not very much familiar. This will not be so much confusing. So moving on to the next property, multiplication by 1. Number 1, or another, you can say identity, because whatever you are multiplying with, you are getting the same result. Yes, this is the example. 1 into 1 is 1. So this is identical to identity. So 1 into 2 is 2. So when we multiply a number by 1, any number when you are multiplying with 1, the result is the same number. Say 5 into 1 is 5, 2 into 1 is 2, 1 into 6 is 6, because the 6 is getting repeated, or the identity of the 6 is repeating, right? So that is 6. So the multiplication, this is another property which is multiplication by 1, or the identity property, because you are getting the same result. That's why it is identity property. Okay, so just have a look on the example. You will understand it very properly. Okay, moving on to the next, order or commutative property of multiplication. This is very new term to you people, so try to understand it very properly. Okay, because this order property now we are going to use in the self-practice for a question number 2. Okay, so that's why you have to understand this very neat and a clear manner. Okay, so the product of two numbers when you are multiplying two numbers remains the same. Okay, remains the same even if you change the order of the number. You may not have understood what is the meaning, sir. So you can look the example. 3 into 4 is the product of two numbers. We are multiplying this two number. The order is 3 into 4. If you change the order, suppose 4 into 3. If you make this number 4 into 3, then what will happen? The result is same, no? 12. 3 4 is also 12 and 4 3 is also 12. Say for another example, 1 into 2 is 2. If you change that order, 2 into 1. Remember, order means this order. You are changing the number. The order has been changed. Suppose say you are in the first position, or you got the rank for 1 in your first term exam, and your friend got second. Suppose in the next exam you got second position and your friend got first position. So the order is getting changed. First and second. Suppose your sitting arrangement also. Sometimes you sit in the first bench, sometimes you sit in the second bench. So you are changing your order. Okay, so that order is nothing but just a placement of a number. Place where you want to keep that number. Not ones, tens, hundred place. Okay, do not get confused with that also. Some of the students get confused with the place value. Also, the place value is different and the order is different in case of multiplication. Okay, so 3 into 4 and 4 into 3 is the example. So the product of the two number remains the same even if we change the order of the number. Alright students, so do not get confused. This is very much new terms to you people. So you have to look this to the definition. You can go through the another example also. That will help you to understand help you to do the self practice for a question number 2. Alright. So moving on to the next property, grouping or associative property of multiplication. So what does this term indicate? Group. You in your class make a group, yes, to do a study, group study. Sometime your ma'am, your sir tells you people to do a group study, so you make a group, no? So in such a condition, grouping or associative property of multiplication, what happens is when 3 or more numbers, if you have suppose say more than 2 numbers if you are multiplying, just see in the example 5 into 4 into 2, when 3 or more numbers are multiplied in such condition, the product is the same regardless of how the numbers are grouped. Okay, so it's similar to the commutative. That means you are changing the order. Just say 5 into 4 into 2 and 5 into, you are changing this, you are making this 4 into 2 together, and over here it was 5 into 4. But the result will be 40 only, no problem. Okay, sometimes your friend is getting associated with another group. Sometimes your friend is getting associated with your group. So the result is you will be in class 4 only, right? Class 4 only. The result will not change into class 5. Okay. So grouping or associative property of multiplication is that only. Okay. So when 3 or more numbers are multiplied, the product is the same regardless of how the numbers are grouped. So the numbers are grouped. Okay. But grouping takes place sometimes with different numbers. Say here 5 into 4, here 4 into 2. But see, result is same, 40. Alright, so do not get confused. Just the numbers are getting, the numbers are changed, not changed actually, grouped differently to have a number, to have a result. Okay, so the grouping or associative property means that only. So moving on to the next property is our distributive property of multiplication. So this is the last property of multiplication. Okay, so this name itself indicates distributive, means you are distributing, you are breaking one big number into a smaller number to make your multiplication easier. Okay, so just see the definition. The distributive property states that multiplying a sum by a number gives the same result as multiplying each number in the sum separately and then adding the product together. Just see here the example. If you are not understanding the definition, no problem. Example is here to make you understand. So normally, this is the normal way to multiply. 5 into 8 is 40. 4 into 12 is 48. So sometimes, we get confused with the multiplication, right? So sometimes what happens, we are not able to make the multiplication in an easy manner or in a one step, right? So what we can do is we can break this number, this 8, just see 6. This is the distributive approach. That is distributive. We are applying the distributive property of multiplication in which the 8 has been distributed into 6 plus 2 form. Okay, so this plus 2, 6. This 6 plus 2 is a sum of 8, right? So that's why here the sum term was there, which is here 6 plus 2, which 8 was distributed in the form of 6 plus 2. So when you do this, what will happen? This 5 will this red arrow will indicate that 5 will multiply with the 6 also, and 5 will also multiply with the 2, but in between there will be a plus sign. Okay, so what will happen now? 5 6 are 30, 5 2 are 10, now 30 plus 10 is 40. Sometimes we don't know what multiplication. This is for those people, okay, who doesn't have a proper knowledge of a division, your multiplication. Okay, so this will help you. This is the another way to do the multiplication. This is known as the distributive property of multiplication. So another, maybe you know the multiplication but there is a bigger number. Oh, so if you want to get the quick result, okay, sometime what we can do is we can break this 12 in 6 plus 6 form or 7 plus 2. In what form you want to break? Okay, there are various way to break the result, so which we are going to solve in our further self practice. Okay, if we have this, so 4 into 12 can be break. Over here they have made a little bit messy, 7 plus 2 plus 3, but you can do 6 plus 6 also, so that you can multiply each one. So here what they have done, 4 into 7, just see 4 into 7. Now in between there is a plus, no, so plus sign is there. Again 4 into 2, and plus sign is there in between, that's why plus sign. So 4 into 3, so multiply this. 4 7 is 28, 4 2 is 8, 4 3 is 12. And when you add this, addition is not very much tough for you people, because in our previous chapter, that is chapter 3, we have solved addition and subtraction. So addition and subtraction should be very easy for you people till now, right? So you have done your your assignment also, which you have performed really well. So addition is not very tough for you people. Okay, so with this, our distributive property of multiplication gets over, and with this our 5 property gets over. Okay, so student, starting with the multiplication by 0, second multiplication by 1 or identity property, order or commutative property, grouping or associative property, distributive property of multiplication. So this 5 properties of multiplication you have to remember. Alright, you may not write in the copy, it's okay, but you have to remember whenever I ask you, whenever we do the self practice, if there is any, if you get it, you will instantly solve that. You should instantly solve the problem. Okay, so this term should be very much familiar with you people. Alright, so student, using this property idea, now we are going to solve the self practice for a question number 2. Alright, so student, here we have the question number 2 from self practice 4a. So we have dealt about various properties, right, in which 0 property, multiplication with 0, multiplication with 1, order property or commutative property was there, right? So other are also there. Why I have said only this 3 name is because we are going to deal with this 3 property for now. Okay, so number 2 is dealing with the order property. I hope you have remember order property. I have already mentioned about order property or commutative property, right, in which the order, changing the order won't affect the result. Okay, अगर आप order को change करोगे तो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. The answer will be, the result will be the same. Say for 3 into 2 is equal to 6. 2 into 3 is also 6. So that is your order property. Okay, so says order property here, order is 6 into 4. If I write 4 into 6, will your result change? 6 4 is 24 and 4 6 is also 24, no? So this is following your order property. Okay, इसी को कहते हैं commutative property, commutative property or order property, okay, of a multiplication. So similarly, 8 6 is 48. We can write 6 8 is also 48. But you cannot change you cannot bring another number here. Okay, you cannot bring the thing is, you have to change the order and you have to bring the same result. The result should be the same by changing the order. Similarly, 25 into 37 and 37 into 25 is same. So similarly, you will do this number D as a home assignment. Okay, you'll try to do it. It is very easy. Moving on to question number 3, find the product. So you have to find the product here. That is, you have to find the result multiplying with this, what you are going to get. So in the first order was multiplication with 0. So I have already mentioned that whenever you are multiplying with any number, whenever you are multiplying any number with a 0, your result is a big 0. 31 into 0, 0. Now number B,
You remember multiplication with 1 or identity property? That means whenever you are multiplying any number with the 1, the result will be a mirror image. When you stand in front of your mirror, what is the result? You will see your image, no? So 1 is the mirror here, and the result is 2471, which is you. Okay. So again here, just see number C and D is similar to number A and B, multiplication with 0 and 1. So this is your home assignment. Okay student, so this much for today. I'll be seeing you in the next class. We will continue further. Alright, so you do your home assignment. If you have any problem, you will ask me. Alright, so this much for today.